All right, greetings and hello to everyone. Today I'll be presenting my innovation for the Darul Aman International Innovation Competition and Exhibition 2021. Okay, my ID is DA126 from the Institusi Pendidikan Kampus Batu Lintang, Kuching, and my name is Lillianna from PISMP June 2018 from IPG Batu Lintang, and one of my members is Dr. Siaw Hiong, lecturer of IPG Batu. Okay, we'll start off with my innovation. So the title of my innovation is Utopia. As you can see, this is the application or the looks of my Utopia, the icon. And then it is a virtual immersive learning, which I include virtual reality and also an augmented reality, AR, into this application. So this innovation is used to solve the language problem, which is to teach and also to help students to understand and learn about the comparative adjectives that are the superlative and comparative adjectives. So we will go in depth about this innovation. So first, here are the contents that I will be presenting. First are the introduction, like the rationale, preview of the application Utopia, the content structure, Utopia, components incorporated into this application, the concept. There are some input that I'll be putting out, the virtual reality, VR, the augmented reality, and some of the assessment tools and other applications that is being used into this application, Utopia. Then the way of commercialization, the methodology, which I'll be using, used throughout the designing and also the development of this model, this application, which is the DIE model. And next will be the impact of this application, which I've done by giving out test runs to schools. And lastly are the references and also the acknowledgements. Proceed with the introduction. So first, Malaysian students still inhibited by social factors such as lack of motivation, also lack of interest to learn the English language, even though it has been a formal learning for a number of years. This is cited by Tan, Najiha, and Rozan, 2012. So this shows that even though the English language have been used in schools for many generations, the students still have problem in learning this language due to lack of motivation, maybe because of the teaching aids that is being used in the class is not fun, interesting, or impose them or their interest in learning. And that, according to Amjad in 2014, it is best to implement fun and interactive activity to grasp the student interest to learn. And this is one of the idea in creating this innovation. I wanted to allow the students to have fun and also to interact with this application during class or maybe during online classes. I want them to enjoy learning English. Next, according to Park and Son, 2009, technology can support teaching methods by providing variety of language inputs and also increasing the students' learning capabilities in real-life context. Then we want to implement contextual learning. I want the students to put themselves in the real life situation. By using this application, they'll be to understand how to understand the topics in the English language. And it also provides a variety of language such as focusing spelling or the grammar structures in a fun and interesting way, which will to boost their motivation to learn and also the interest to learn the English language. And then lastly, teachers should inculcate interactive, student-centered and fun activities which allow students to fully participate and also improve their English proficiency simultaneously, especially in learning grammar. Well, this is one of the most major problem that students face whenever they learn the English language, the learning of grammar. It is quite complicated when you learned in class because most probably the teacher are using this chalk and talk method in order to help the students understand grammar. Therefore, the idea of using this innovation is to help the teachers to bring out student-centered learning. Students are doing most of talking, students are doing most of the discovering instead of teacher talking more often, frequently in class. And we wanted them to have a fun activity which allow the students to fully participate, where the students are interested in learning English language, especially in try to find something that will help to understand and also improve their proficiency. Therefore, we proceed with the rationale of this invention that I've created. So first, grammar is the asset of learning the English language. It is the most important thing that the student needs to learn when they're learning English language. So one of the focus grammar items that I'll be focusing is the comparison of adjective, which is based on the Year 4 CAFR curriculum. So the students are facing difficulties to understand and also have less interest in learning grammar, specifically these adjectives, whereby it is very confusing. The terms, for example, the transition or the transformation, the changing of spelling, which always be the problem, the students, specifically the Year 4 students, okay? So by providing a game-based platform, which will help to improve the students' understanding towards the comparison of adjective, and also it will help to boost their interest and motivation to learn. I will show you the example of game-based platforms that are being integrated into this application, which somehow manage to improve the students' understanding towards the comparison of adjectives, and also it grabs their interest to learn. Okay, and one of the rationale this innovation is to provide fun and interactive activities which can help to enhance these Year 4 students to learn comprehension of comparison of adjective through virtual reality, augmented reality, and some interactive quizzes. So show you the devices or the application websites that have been implemented into this one innovation, all in one, which help the students to learn comparison of adjective. Now here are some of the previews of this application in Utopia. So first, this is the main menu of Utopia, where the students can click on the introduction buttons, or they can just proceed with the game or the activities inside this application. So they can just click, let's go. For the introduction, they will get to know what they are going to learn, activities, games that they are going to play, and what is the assessment they're going to do. Okay, this is the virtual reality, which I've used CoSpaces as a platform to create this virtual reality world for students to learn comparison of adjectives. It is inspired by an escape situation or a maze game where the students need to find the clues, or they need to understand all the words in one room, and they need to answer a quiz, a short quiz, by clicking on the door. And if they manage to answer it correctly, they are able to enter to the next room until they manage to escape the room. Then they will win the game. And for the augmented reality version is the AR version, which I've used my webinar, Web AR, for the students to experience an AR learning. As you can see from the picture, there are pictures, examples, and also videos. What the students need to do is to scan the QR code using their mobile devices or mobile phones, and they will be able to up these features. Next is EduCandy, one of the websites that is being used inside this application, where the teacher can assess the students' understandings after they learn through using this VR or AR platforms. And another assessment alternative is using Jamboard. Jamboard is a platform for students to write their answers. For example, see in this picture, give 3 sentences of comparative adjectives. Therefore, there are some examples given, and the students are able to use the sticky notes and type in their answers. So as an English teacher, you are able to assess writing skills, for example, sentence structure, or even the spelling. And another assessment alternative that is being used is quizzes. So after they learn, they need to answer some quizzes. So here you can assess and also get the data from this application. So you can identify the students who are able to understand the topic that they've done using this application and which part they don't understand. So teachers can actually use this assessment method to assess their students. So we proceed to the content structure of Utopia. So this innovation is constructed in Thunkable. Thunkable is one of the platforms where all of this happens. Okay, we start from below. Google site. I've used Google site as one of the main pages or the platform to compile all of these other features into one page. For example, I have one set of site, YouTube, pictures, you can, and also simple game from games to learn English. And another page is for just and YouTube. And another page is for Jamboard, which I will use to assess students' writing, video, games and slides. And another one is called spaces. It is a I've used the virtual reality and also quizzes. So here there are 5 pages under the site. So this is the main platform which used to compile this websites or devices to pages. So the components that are being integrated, first of all, I've integrated the integration of multimedia to enhance the learning. We've used the virtual reality, augmented reality, some interactive games, and also videos to help the students to improve their efficiency, especially language proficiency towards language. So, to help the students who have different type of intelligence, for example, visual learners, the audio, or maybe kinesthetic. So this will help to understand, to help them enhance efficiency. Next, integrate interactive games to challenge the students' knowledge, also their understanding. So quizzes, gem to assess the students' understanding, and also to students challenge themselves to see how high is their higher scale, how level of understandings. Next is the recall and practice, whereby I've used pictures and to help the students to recall back what they have learned after they use this application. So the students can vision through reading summaries of topics that they have learned this app. Lastly, integrate assessment to test the students' understanding, so to evaluate their efficiency. So use Jamboard to evaluate skills, quizzes is to evaluate their understanding, so their proficiency to understand through listening in English language. Are they able to understand writing? So they are able to read and understand that is registered in the virtual reality. So here is where the teacher can assess the students. Okay, so the concept of Utopia, as I've said, it is a game-based learning application which is focusing on a student-centered learning, where student-centered allow students to learn independently as the teacher acts as a facilitator throughout the lesson. The students does all of the work while the teacher acts as a facilitator to guide the students. Next, it is an interactive interactive, which is to integrate interactive multimedia such as virtual reality, AR, augmented reality, videos, and also quizzes to allow participation students. We wanted the students to actively participate to the lesson. And next, we wanted it to this application to focus on a contextual learning, want to put meaning and collaborative to the students. We want the student to discover, to experience real life situation by using this game base. For example, virtual reality, the students are able to see values, see features resembling the real life situation. Even though they are not able to go to that certain places, able to see such animals, using virtual reality, we can everything into the classroom. That is the idea of this application being created. Hence, this game-based application, I've wanted this application to enhance the students' understanding towards the topic, which is the comparative comparison of adjectives, superlative and comparative adjective. Next is to boost the student interest and motivation to learn, especially learning grammar. It's difficult for them. This application will help to ease everything. Next is to enhance the students' memory on comparison of adjectives and also use alternative assessment to evaluate students. We don't have to use exam papers. We don't have to use portfolios. This is another alternative assessment to assess students' time. During this pandemic, this is also the best way to assess the students using quizzes or games where the teachers can collect the data and also identify students' proficiency. Okay. The main application in my apps, my innovation is using virtual reality, which I use CoSpaces, one of the website, to construct this world. So as you can see in picture 1 and picture 2, these are the layout of the VR world where the students will escape the maze by finding clues, explore in this virtual reality world, and answer some short quizzes as shown in picture 3. They need to answer in order to enter. So this virtual reality is to implement 21st century learning, that is to incorporate technology in the lesson. So this is one of the examples where teachers can use to teach the students, for example, teach English in a much more fun way. So we want to incorporate fun in learning. We want the students to enjoy learning and also incorporate values in the virtual. For example, there are pictures, there are human, for example, in this picture, astronaut. There are pictures of animals that are related to the topic. Next, we wanted to incorporate student-centered learning where the students are able to explore more in the map. So we want to allow the students to explore and find their own answers. And simple quizzes are given to students throughout the games, and it is also one of the examples of based learning where the students to challenge themselves, find the clues, find the right information in to answer the question and to escape the world. So this is one of the examples of interactive learning where students can interact with the application. For virtual reality, they can use a virtual headset, or they can just use their mobile devices to access this application. As for an augmented reality, I've used this website, webr.com. So this is first picture, scan QR code. So in this website, to construct, design, give a layout, topic, and they will give or provide you QR code for your students to scan. So the students need to scan the QR code to see this features in the AR after they scan. So it will a 3D pop out 2D version. For example, the pictures shown or videos, you can insert pictures, videos, or models for students to learn. So as in end result in picture 3, this is what the students will see. The students can interact with the pictures or the videos. Okay, so main idea of this application is to grasp the student attention. So this is something for the students as it places textbook, traditional textbook. It is considered as a virtual textbook. Depends on how the teacher use or website this application to the fine pictures or essays, sentences, and many. So it can be considered as to replace the traditional textbook. And it is used to, students can interact with pictures, for example, or animated pictures. The students can just tap onto the videos and they can watch the videos. Or the animated pictures, they can tap onto the pictures and the animated pictures will move. And again, Lillianna can include, for example, the 3D models where students can just see by scanning the QR. Okay. The other application alternatives that are being incorporated into this innovation. First one is Jamboard. So Jamboard is a website where you can assess the students. You can just in question and the students can type in answers. This can be did on the go spot. The student can just access this platform and students can type in their answers. You can book activities online using this website. Another alternative for assessment can also use quizzes which have been implemented into this innovation. Another assessment that you can use is the EduCandy. So the one that have been implemented to this innovation is match up activities, where the students need to match the correct pairs of comparative adjective and also the superlative adjectives. Next platform is Google Site, where I compile all the application into one page. So as you can see, there are the titles and also there are some pictures to show to the students. Some instruction are given into this one platform. So how do I commercialize this innovation? One of the ways or one of the methods that I've used is using WhatsApp. I've sent out the links to friends and family and also to schools to test out this innovation. Figure 2, I've used Instagram as one of the social media platforms to ask from strangers all around the world to try out this application, to see the previews of this application and provide comments on the section below. And next is the figure 3. These are layouts of commercialization. Instagram, I put a little bit of information of this innovation and also some videos, previews, the application for the viewers to see. Therefore, the community who participated in test runs are mostly the students, teachers, primary school students, the students' teachers in institute, teacher education, and also even parents. So parents are able to monitor the students. They use this application and parents are able to give their feedbacks. How do they think? Their opinion towards this innovation towards their students, and what parents think is really students, is it very beneficial and reliable? All of the comments are given. So the models or the methodology that is being used throughout the designing and the development of this innovation, first is A, analyze. So I've done some discussion, some group discussion with my peers and with the lecturers to identify the language problems that are being faced by the students, specifically the year 4 students, which is my target group. And I've done some group discussions through Microsoft Teams or through WhatsApp to identify what are the major problems that the students are facing, especially in learning the English language. So I've come out with the problems that are always encountered by the students, which is the comparative adjectives. This is due to some confusion and difficulties for the student to understand the changes of spelling, the changes of the format of the words. Next, the next step is to design. So if I've used or created storyboard to set the layouts of what should I implement into this innovation. Storyboard really helps to organize the content that I really wanted in order to create a very effective innovation. So Utopia is based on the students' learning style, which I inculcate pictures, videos, games, and also audios to help them understand the comparative adjectives to the fullest. The next step is development. So generate the content and suitable activities to help students. So we try, during these stages, I try to find websites or different platforms or application that suits the students' learning style, and also the accessibilities. Are the students able to access this platform? So the main platform used to construct everything was using Thunkable to assess a variety of application. Utopia. So Thunkable can be accessed using mobile phones. So the students can use their mobile phone in order to open this innovation. So the other contents or other suitable activities or application that have been incorporated or implement into this one innovation are called spaces, QR code, which is the webinar just now, the augmented reality, Google site, quizzes, Scratch, videos from YouTube, self-made videos, Jamboard, and even Edu Candy. The fourth step is the implementation. So the implementation or test run for this innovation was conducted in school. So we were allowed to run some tests towards the students, which I've done to the year 4 students, where they can try out this application and also provide feedbacks. So during this test run, I'm able to observe and also to assess the students' understanding and also their reaction towards the application. Throughout the test run, the students are able to give some positive feedbacks, positive reactions, as in they're never seen or never tried virtual reality before. So the code space managed to grabs their attention, grabs their interest to learn comparative of adjectives. And by the end of the day, they are able to answer the quizzes or even provide simple sentences using Jamboard, where they are able to provide simple sentences using the correct comparative adjective or superlative adjective. And then the final steps in this ADDIE model is the evaluation. So I'm able to evaluate the effectiveness of this innovation or this application by asking for feedbacks from student teachers, from strangers, from the public, the parents, or even the students themselves regarding the effectiveness of this innovation. So I've used some checklists and also observation during the test run and also during the commercialized method through social medias or even through WhatsApp. So the comments from social medias helped to the public to provide feedbacks regarding this application. Right. So these are the impact of the app. In graph 1, these are the reviews on the level of learning materials. So you can see the students are able to understand the topic of the games after they've used this app, the Utopia app, and the students manage to answer the questions given. The students can understand the language used in the game, where the language used in the game simple and straightforward. And the students said they have no trouble in playing the games, and they do not need help to explain the rules in the game. Next, these are the reviews on the benefit of media integrations or the different types of application in Utopia. So there is a virtual reality game. There is also AR, augmented reality. All the games are digital games, and the games really help them to understand the topic. Videos also help to understand the topic, and also the pictures, illustrations help the students to understand the topic. As for the augmented reality, it is only 88%. Next is the graph 3, review on the students' interest towards Utopia. Therefore, the students says the games are challenging, which is quite a positive feedback, where the students love challenging games. And then the students agreed that the games are not boring. However, another improvement that need to be done is that there are too many words for the students and the font is too small, and the students are able to play the virtual reality game and it's easy for them. And virtual reality games are fun and interesting for the students, and the game in Educator is also fun for the students. So these are the feedbacks from the students after the test run. These are some of the comments from the social media as they provide their ideas, or they provide some ideas to improve on the devices after this innovation is being commercialized. So these are some of the references regarding this creation of innovation, and I would like to acknowledge thank you to Tankable, Hospice, Education, Site, Jamboard, Quizzes, Webinar, EduCandy, and even YouTube's, all the videos in YouTube's, as it really helps in creating my innovation to the best. Right, so that is all for the presentation. The next part will be the preview of this application. So you can watch some of the features of how to use the application. So thank you and hope you like this video.
Fast, hurry about the mission. Hi, furry.
Hello. Click on the mission button to see all your missions. You need to learn the comparison of adjectives and defeat the quiz monsters.
Don't forget, our aim is to master all the comparison of adjectives. Let's go to the mission button.
I say red, yellow, green and blue. Red, yellow. Adjectives. Hey, look! Nikki, Ricky, and Sam have each bought a Christmas tree to their class. Sam's tree is tall. Nikki's tree is taller than Sam's tree.